Unlock your potential today at skillbakery.com.
As mentioned in our previous lecture, Cypress comes with powerful assertions to verify DOM properties and behavior. In this script that we see over here, we'll be exploring some of the assertions that are provided by Cypress. So over here, this Cypress test suite demonstrates the use of built-in assertions to validate multiple properties of a specific HTML element. If we break down this one, we have described built-in assertions. It basically groups the test cases logically under the name built-in assertions. In this case, it contains a single test case focused on validating properties of H1 element. Then we have next line, it asserts heading properties. It defines a single test case, and the test case is named asserts heading properties and focuses on verifying specific properties of the H1 element. Then we have cy.visit and the URL. It basically navigates to the specified URL where the web page under test is hosted. Next we have cy.get H1 heading. It locates the H1 element with the ID heading and identifies the target element to perform assertions on. Then next we have should have text hello Cypress. So this is what we explored in our previous lecture as well. This basically asserts exact text. And then we have have.css over here, and we are checking for a color RGB 000. So basically this line asserts that the H1 element's CSS property color is set to black. It validates the font color of the heading. And finally, we have the b.visible. This asserts that the H1 element is visible on the page and ensures the heading is not hidden or obscured. So over here, when we run this command npx cypress open, we have our interface launched in Chrome. And here you can see the Cypress spec that we just now wrote. And when we are executing this built-in assertions test, it shows you the steps that it takes: visit, get, and then asserts all three assertions are true, and that's why they are highlighted in green color. So to summarize, Cypress loads the page using the cy.visit assertion that we have, and you can see it as step number 1 over here in the test body. And then it locates the H1 element with the ID heading, and after that, it performs 3 assertions on the element. It verifies the text content, it checks the CSS color property, and confirms the element is visible. So the outcome, if all assertions pass, the test is marked as successful, and over here you can see both the tests have passed and count is coming up as 2 over here. If any of the assertions fail, example, the text is incorrect or the element is not visible, the test fails and Cypress highlights the failed step. So if I go back over here in my code and I change any of the assertions value, for example, if I just add one more s to the text hello Cypress and then run over here, run all tests, you can see that it says my first test. It's running and it's failing over here. So the H1 contains hello Cypress, whereas in our case, it's an additional S, so it fails over there. And then over here, built-in assertion, it is also containing one test, and there also it's failing. So the first one fails then and there. Now if I go back over here and I just revert it back, and here I introduce a style, display none, save this and go back over here, rerun the tests, you can see that the first one is now approved. The count shows as 1, whereas this one shows 2 assertions are fine, and the last one, the H1 heading to be visible, and this is failing over here. And that's the reason why you see one test case as passed and one test case as failed. So that's how you can make use of built-in assertions to test your website using Cypress.
If you find the video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe.